What's up, movie crew? Welcome to a review video. Before I get started, if you're new to this channel, my name is Luke, this is Let's Watch a Movie, and if you're anything cinema and physical media related, you've come to the right place, so hit that subscribe button. Alright, I did a post on Instagram. I showed it off in my haul video, and oddly enough, I did not get, people yelling about physical media this and physical media that and all that sort of stuff. So I recently bought the On 4K Pro. All right. Now, before I get started on this review, if you were expecting me to review the technical specifications and all that stuff on here, that is not what I'm doing. There are plenty of really good reviews that talk about the specs and all the tech aspects of this. My review is from the point of view of someone who watches movies and TV shows and my thoughts on this streaming player compared to the ones I've used in the past. So, now that we got that out of the way, let's get started. All right. Over the years, I have owned strictly Roku streaming players. The only time I didn't use a Roku prior to this was when I bought my Sony Blu-ray player that had the main apps I was using at the time, that being Prime Video and Vudu, aka Fandango at home. So, recently I started having some issues with my Roku player, and I bought the On 4K Pro. This is one that is Walmart's streaming player with Google TV. So this is an Android streaming player. All right. For the most part, I've got to say, I'm pretty happy. The pros on this thing, it moves fast. I don't have to wait for the channels or apps to load up. I can pretty much just go in, hit the button, starts playing. No problems there. I've got to say it has quite a few options. There's a few that I've noticed that are on here that are actually not on my Roku. So it was nice to be able to add a couple extra channels. And it's got everything. I can still move the apps around just like I did with Roku. So the ones that I use the most are the ones that first show up. Now, the 4K part of this, I've got to say, I had the Roku Express. So it was just HD. I did not get the Express 4K version. The On 4K Pro is a very powerful device. You got it on 4K, it goes through really good. Yes, sometimes there are a couple things on my end that I don't have the 4K version of. I've just got the HD. So far, I'm good with it. The remote, very good. Nothing's cluttered. I can move through everything with no problems. So, as of right now, everything is really good with this. It's got some of the local stuff, like in my area, my local NBC has its own app, so I was still able to download that. My local CBS is available through Zine, so I was able to download that. As far as the streaming services I'm subscribed to, Max is on there, works good. Peacock's on there, works good. Also, on my end, this was one of the things that made me want to get a new 4K player. One of the reasons I am subscribed to Peacock, if you've seen some of the shirts before, you know I watch some wrestling. And Peacock is where you can watch the WWE premium live events. Live stuff was not working that well on my Roku. Not just live sports, but also the live channels. One of the things that a lot of these streaming players get their money off of. I'd watch like 1, maybe 2 episodes of something, and then it goes straight to the home screen. With the ON, I have not had that problem. So everything so far is really good with this. And it's pretty impressive given that, this is the Walmart brand version. This is not Google's Chromecast. It's not their new Google 4K streamer. But I've got to say, I am very impressed with this thing. As far as the cons go, one of them's a nitpick on my end. Well, most of them on my end are all nitpicks. So I'm going to say that now. The cons that I have towards this are mainly personal nitpicks. The first one being, and every streaming device does this for whatever reason, as weird as this might sound, I'm not a Netflix subscriber. So the fact that every single device has a Netflix button on it is a waste on my end because I'm not subscribed to Netflix. The other one they have on there is Paramount Plus. Again, I'm not subscribed to it. I get Walmart put that on there because if you're a Walmart Plus member, you get Paramount Plus. So some of the buttons on there I don't really use. Another big issue for me at least was when I went to start adding the other channels and apps that I had on my Roku. I kind of wish that Google would have put the Google Play Store on there so I can view the stuff myself instead of just putting part of the name. And I kind of had to do that because if I put in the exact thing, it might not show up. So I had to put, for example, when I put in Fandango at home, I actually had to put in Fandango. I couldn't search Voodoo. The other issue with the Google Play Store when it goes to downloading this thing, all right, so Walmart put this out earlier in 2024, and it's still got outdated and no longer in use apps on there. For example, one of the apps that I downloaded was the CW app. I'm going to do a future video on that later, but the CW used to be 2 separate apps. You had the CW app for the shows that aired on the CW, and then you had CW Seed, which had all the digital stuff and any possible syndicated stuff that would show up when you weren't watching the prime CW stuff. Well, about 2 years ago, CW went on ahead and absorbed everything into one umbrella, making CW Seed no longer a thing. So why is the ON player giving me the option to download an app that has not been active for 2 years? That was a little weird. It also kept trying to get me to download Crackle, and Crackle went out of service earlier this year. So Google, Walmart, I don't know who I need to talk to on this one, but y'all definitely need to update your Google Play Store for this. Another personal thing on my end, and this is just, again, a basic nitpick. It's more of me needing to get used to the user interface on here. I like the way the Roku had everything set up. It showed all your channels on one side, and on the other side it had the scroll so you could go to settings, you could go to the App Store to download other stuff. So it was fairly clean, fairly set up, and like I said, I've been used to that for a while. On here, everything's in rows. So the first row is my apps. The second row is apps that it thinks I should download. The third row is things that I've watched on various apps on here. And for me, that's a little bit of a clutter. And unfortunately, the other option is to go into apps only, and you don't get to see a lot of stuff. So you can go into apps only mode, and it's got an interface that's similar to what I'm used to. But there's a lot of stuff that is not on the home screen anymore because of that. And the other thing too, I don't know keep in mind, again, I've only used Roku. So to anyone that has ever used multiple streaming devices over the years, tell me if this is a normal thing or not. But one of the ones that I use regularly is not on there, which is Voodoo, aka Fandango at Home. The user interface on the Roku and the user interface on here look like two very different apps. And it took some getting used to, and it's not even just that one, that's just the one I use the most. So if you've used other streaming devices before, let me know if that's a normal thing, because for me, that was a little weird. I honestly thought that maybe this one's outdated. And when I went to go look it up, nope, only one or two of mine needed to be updated. So overall, if you were looking for a new streaming device, I actually got to say the On 4K Pro is pretty good. It's got all the apps I personally use. It's got a headphone option for Bluetooth headphones if you need to watch something without in private. And again, I got it for $35. It was on sale for $39. It's normally $49, which still makes it cheaper than most of the 4K streaming players. So keep that in mind. And as far as future videos go, I am thinking about doing a video about some of my favorite apps that I use, both free and subscriptions. So keep that in mind, and I will definitely have a link down below for anyone that is looking to get a streaming player. But that's going to do it for this one. If you are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. You like what you see? Leave a thumbs up. Comment down below. Do you plan on getting the On? And to those that have used other streaming devices in the past, does the user interface for various apps differ from its own version on other streaming devices? But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you all for watching, and tune in next time.